Hey, welcome back to Crack's Country Cooking. I'm Ben, and today I'm going to show you how I made these beautiful, tasty, homemade broccoli cheddar bread bowls. You're going to want to try these. First thing we got to do is take 125 milliliters of milk, 125 milliliters of water, between 95 and 110 degrees, 30 grams of brown sugar, 10 grams of yeast. Give that a mix. We'll let that bloom for 10 minutes. So now that our yeast has bloomed, we'll put our salt and bread flour, mix that together, pour in our bloomed yeast. We'll start on low, start adding our tangs on. Once that's in, then we'll turn it up to medium. We'll put in our egg and our egg yolk. Now I'll take some room temperature butter, start adding that to it until it's all cohesive and everything's mixed together. Just like that, it's done. Not overly sticky. Perfect. Now we will lightly flour our work surface, get our hands all floury, and we'll roll this bad boy out. Get up all the extra flour. Knead by hand a couple times. Super soft. It's like a pillow. Put it in a greased container for an hour and a half. Our dough is risen. Now it's time to degas it, and we'll roll it out on a lightly floured work surface. Pull the edges in. Flip her over. Beautiful looking ball of dough. Fold the edges over like we just did with the bigger ball, then circular motion. Tucking the bottom in and place it on a baking sheet, on a parchment lined baking sheet. Continue this process until all the dough balls are done. Alright, once those are complete, give them a little push down, cover these and let them sit for 20 minutes. The time has come. We are going to brush these with the egg wash. 1 egg, splash of milk. Make sure you get all the way around. Now we'll place these in a 400-degree oven for 20 minutes. We'll check on them after 15 minutes, make sure they're doing okay. Our bread rolls are done. Alright, we need some freshly grated cheddar cheese. You can do it by hand. If you have a food processor, that's the way to do it. Alright, let's make this cheddar broccoli soup. First thing we're going to do is put in a stick of butter. Let that start to melt. Get that nice and melted. Once the butter is nice and melted, 1 diced onion. You'll let that cook out until it becomes translucent. After a few minutes, they look beautiful. We'll put in some of our flour. We're gonna make a roux. Now we gotta cook out the flour taste in the roux. So now that our roux is darkened a little bit, we're gonna start stirring in our chicken broth. A little bit at a time. Better use a whisk for this part. Once you got all your chicken stock in there, continue to whisk and let it come back to a little bit of a simmer. Now that's starting to bubble. Pour in your heavy cream. And give that a stir. One of the key seasonings in this is nutmeg. I really recommend you putting the nutmeg in here. It really brings out the flavor. Definitely sets it apart from others. Alright, let that come back to a simmer. Now that that's simmering again, we're going to place in our broccoli and our carrots. The carrots I microwave for about 45 seconds. They can withstand a lot of heat, but nothing's worse than biting into a rock hard carrot in your soup. Let this go for 15 minutes until the broccoli's tender. Now the broccoli's nice and tender, we'll turn the burner down to low, give it a stir, and then we'll start stirring in our cheddar. If it's too hot, you'll end up with a grainy soup, and nobody likes that. So it's better to even have it off if you need to. But low should be good enough. Just keep stirring it in a little bit at a time. I wouldn't use pre-shredded on this. That's got a wax coating on it. Doesn't melt very nicely. It'll give you a weird texture. That's looking very tasty now. Once the cheese is all melted, the soup is pretty much done. Taste it for, I would taste it for salt and pepper. I usually don't add too much salt in the beginning with adding the cheese to it. Adjust it after you add the cheese. Let's build our bread bowl. Alright, so go in here. You don't want to go all the way through. Then what I do is I scoop these out the best I can. I press it with my fingers, make sure it's waterproof. Alright, let's throw this under the broiler and toast it. Now we can eat. Got a little darker than I wanted, but that's alright. There we have it. Look at that.
God, that looks good.
Now we can try it. Look at that. Yes. That's so good. That's why I love this time of year. It starts getting cooler out. Dip the hat in there. So good. It's so good. Alright, if you like this video, please watch our past videos. We got more videos coming out every week. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, of course YouTube. Go to crackscountrycooking.com. We got recipes, seasonings, rubs on there, all sorts of stuff. Alright, see ya. Dinner time.